But this is great. I want to take just a pivot before we head for the exits and hear a little bit more about current day, like present day. What are you up to now? What have you done with all of these lessons you've learned from your past? Going from 350-pound Michael to now not 350-pound Michael to $50,000 in debt Michael to now running multiple businesses, best-selling author, the podcast. Can you kind of give us a frame of like, okay, where are you now? Where are you heading? Like kind of give us that place of where you are now, where you're going, so people kind of can see, okay, if I'm somewhere in your journey of I'm dealing with trauma and I want to turn that into something where you are, or I've already overcome trauma and this is what I'm doing with it. I think it would be really helpful to kind of paint that picture for some people before we head for the exits.
Yeah, I think people ask me all the time, like, what does think unbroken mean? And it's really simple. It's like transform your trauma into triumph. Like that's it, man. And Mike, that's different for everybody. I don't know what it means for you. I don't know what it means for anyone else except for me, right? And for me, it's very simple. I always ask myself, did I do the thing I said I was going to do? Did I have integrity in my life? Did I follow through? Did I execute? That's it. But that covers so many bases, man, about the food you eat, the people you spend time with, the books you read, the podcast you listen to, like everything. It's all encompassing. Did I do the thing?
Mm.
And so today it's just continuing to do that. And it's showing up every day and it's learning every day and it's sticking to my guns, right? I think one of the really difficult things people go through and what I went through, especially in the beginning of this journey, was feeling like I had to bend myself to what other people expected of me. And it was really hard to recognize that sticking up for yourself is a sign that you are healing or healed. And so I apply that to everything. I'm like, if I say I'm going to do something, I try not to bend that, right? It's funny because when I put together Unbroken conference, I announced it within a week of thinking of it. And within that week, I had all of my speakers. I had the entire thing outlined. I had the entire website up. And literally within 7 days of the idea, it was in it was in life. It was
Mm.
happening. And I think that's the thing that I am at right now in my life is just continuing to make my dreams come true and to help people in the process. In the future,
How does someone
it's
trust
only,
that? By the way, how might someone or how do you trust that? It's like you have an idea, and then you actually follow suit on executing the idea. Some people, paralysis analysis, right, settles in. It's like they
yeah,
have to weigh it all out. But you trusted your intuition and acted on it. How do you do that?
because I've done it for so long
Mm.
and I'm willing to be wrong. I'm willing to be like 1,500 people registered, nobody showed up. I'm willing to play that game because here's one of the things that Tom Bilyeu taught me that I carry with me all the time is this idea about being the learner, right? He talks about that constantly. And what I realized in learning, which is really the crux of what failure is, I was like, oh, if I screw up, it's fine. I learned something. Like most people are in analysis, I can't even say it, analysis paralysis, because they're afraid of the failure.
Mm.
They're terrified of the idea that it might not work. And I'm like, yeah, but you might do the greatest thing of all time. And so I'm willing to chase the success potential and the really in that space, the notion that it's okay to mess up.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
everybody sucks all the time. Like, dude, nobody is good at anything until they get good at it. And that's why I was willing to try. Like, all right, I'll give you a great example, man. Like, I'm a great writer. I'm a terrible editor, right? And so my first book, you go look at the reviews on Amazon, look at all the sites really, they're all 5-star reviews, except for a couple. And those couple that aren't 5 stars, they're like 1 star. Do you know why they're 1 star?
Mm.
Because the grammar isn't perfect. But Mike, if I wrote a book where the grammar had to be perfect, maybe it's not in my voice. Maybe it's not the impact that it's had for the over 10,000 people who have read it. Maybe it's whatever, right? And so that intuition comes back to this thing you're talking about stacking. I'm only able to build confidence in myself from continuing to do uncomfortable shit all the time.
Mm,
And so if I don't do the uncomfortable stuff, I don't learn to trust myself. And if I don't learn to trust myself, I can't have confidence. If I don't have confidence, I won't be willing to take the bigger risks. Like there's a lot on the line for this conference, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, right? And it's like, okay, cool, bet. Let's see what happens.
mm,
And it may be a huge disaster, but I have a feeling it's not going to be, because I believe in myself, because I've done all the hard. Man, I've spoken on stages in front of 10,000 people at Grant Cardone's events. You know what I mean? Like that's a mind-blowing, crazy thing that you can do. And I've spoken on stages in front of one person where
mm,
nobody showed up, dude. Where it was like 6 years ago, I'm hosting my first events and nobody's coming.
mm.
And that's okay with me, because I'm willing to figure out what happens. And so as you go through life, I think if you're willing to set aside the fear and just stand in potential, right? Most people are looking for reasons why they can't. I'm only ever looking for reasons why I can.